Okay, so the first thing you want to do to submit a budget appeal is go to OrgSync and log in and whatnot. So for this to work, you have to be an administrator on your club's account. And if you're not sure if you are or not, talk to Shannon Driscoll. Otherwise, you can go to the portal of the club that you're an administrator for. So I'm an administrator for USG because I'm the vice president of finance. So I click on USG to go to my club's page. Here you're going to go over to more on the right and down to treasury. Click manage budgets. And here you can see your old budgets for whatever you want and what happened with them. But for us, we're going to do new budget. So here you can submit your budget name, which can be, you know, if it's for budget packet day, usually it'll be like, for example, Marketing Association Fall 2014 budget. Or this could just be if it's a weekly appeal, you could just say kickoff meeting or something like that. Select the period for anything for this. We're doing Fall 2014. And this is the details. So here, the category is when you're going to select budget appeal, date change, or reallocation request. Budget appeal is requesting new funds you were not previously allocated. Date changes to change the date of an event that we've already allocated funds for. And reallocation request is to reallocate funds from one event or line item to another. So we're just going to pick budget appeal for now, but you can pick any of them. This will prompt the screen to come up. The first thing they ask for is priority, so that's usually for budget day mostly, when we can't fund all events, but you can, so for weekly appeals, you can just put 1 or 2 or what, and it doesn't really matter. Event date is required as well, and that means you're going to have to submit an exact date to us, and make sure it's while classes are in session, and then the university is open, otherwise we won't be able to fund anything at all. Locations required, and event description and mission and scope are both pretty important. Event description, events funded by the committee cannot be exclusive in any way. So it can't be exclusive based on gender for certain, like Fordham versus Gabelli. So you need to make sure that in your event description this is not an event in which you're excluding people. Like for example, if it's only for your e-board, that's something we wouldn't be okay with. So here you describe the event and give us as much detail as possible. It's better to know more than less. Then mission and scope here, we ask that you tell us why this is something you're doing. How does this relate to the goals of your club? And you can quote your constitution if you'd like. We'd really appreciate it. So you can just exit it. Once you're finished with all those, you can just exit up here. If you ever wanted to, if you left something out and you want to go back to it, you can just hit fill out and it'll bring that same screen back up. So once you've done this part, you can fill up the line items for this particular category. So you can see there's a lot of categories or miscellaneous if none of them apply to you. And here you can just pick an option. You can optionally write a description. So if you say film rights, you could say film rights for the movie The Social Network, for example. And then here, how much money you actually want from the budget committee. This column is not very important. We don't really look at it. That's just for your planning needs, basically. If you want to add a summary, you can click this little add summary button. That's not something that's required either. If you wanted to add a line item, say you also wanted decorations for this event, you could just click that, and decorations and fill out the same thing. Add budget item is for when there's another event that you want to request funds for. So this will be mostly helpful during budget day. And it'll tell you how much you're requesting from everything and whatnot. Here's where you're going to upload backup documentation. So this upload button that pulls up your files. That is for screenshots, documents, whatever you want to attach that's proof of price, or backup documentation for the various items you've requested. Make sure everything that you ask for money for here is something that you provide us documentation for down here, except for the noted exceptions, which if you're confused about, please email me. Right now they're just security, by the way. Here you can write any comments if there's anything that changes or anything else you wanted to know that you didn't think fit somewhere else, you could type here. You can save and finish later or submit it, and then it will go to my account and I will see it. And if it's by Tuesday at 5 p.m., we'll consider it that from Wednesday, and if it's after, we'll be considering it for our next meeting. So just note that the deadline is Tuesday at 5 p.m. If you have any questions on any of this or anything about the rules or anything else, feel free to email me at knorton4@fordham.edu.